We're here today with Professor Davis, a social psychologist who's going to speak to us a little bit about culture shock. So, Professor, what exactly is culture shock?
Culture shock is defined as the sense of disorientation that comes with being in a new place. A good number of us have experienced culture shock to some degree in our lives, but it's more acute among people who live abroad for extended periods. Interestingly, it can be described as an emotional response, which follows a predictable pattern in most cases.
Wow, I didn't know that. Could you walk us through the process?
Certainly. There are 4 main stages, with the first being euphoria, also known as the honeymoon phase. The place has novelty value and everything is an adventure. You're essentially a tourist at this point.
Too bad it can't stay that way.
Actually, all of the stages are equally important in the end. After a month or two, stage 1 inevitably gives way to stage 2, frustration. You start noticing things you don't like about how people behave or the social norms which are in place. For example, perhaps you come from a country where people don't talk on public transport, and you move to a place where they do. Suddenly, your commute has become twice as stressful. It's a very jarring experience. What's more, you have yet to find your feet in this new place, and doing the most seemingly simple things has become complicated because you don't know your way around. Thankfully, this doesn't last forever, and you soon reach stage 3, which is adjustment. You learn how to orientate yourself. Things cease to annoy you, and life becomes much more tolerable.
Thank goodness for that. So, what's the final stage?
Acceptance. You assimilate into society and start to appreciate some of the subtle nuances of the culture that you didn't notice at first. You make friends and develop a social circle and begin to enjoy a new way of life. It takes about 6 months to a year to reach this stage, in some cases even a little longer.
Sounds like it takes a bit of patience to reach the finish line.
Exactly. Patience, tolerance, and acceptance are the key. Integrating into a new culture is not easy. My advice would be this: read up on the culture and give yourself a chance to adapt gradually. Avoid comparisons and judgments and accept each place for what it is. Cultures are made rich by the people within, and similarly, people are made richer by the cultures in which they choose to immerse themselves. Stay open to new ideas and perspectives and strive to combine the best elements of each culture you experience. You'll find that life takes on a whole new flavour.
Well, that was very enlightening. Thank you, Professor Davis, for talking to us today. Now, we'd like to hear your stories.